Hello everyone, I'm Brian and welcome to part 3. Hopefully this is the last one because I don't think I can split this up into 2 parts and say it's a fair split. Anyways, let's go and get started, so I try not to talk too much. Oh, now.
I'd like to get back to the the practice of medicine, just for a question, really. I tell my gang, whom I adore, my residents, my students, are close to my heart. I adore them.
All gangs are like that.
I say, medicine is easy. Medicine is easy, but healing is hard. Because in medicine, we have our potions, and if we don't know an answer, we do a test, and if we don't know what the test means, we consult somebody, and so medicine, in some ways, we can distill it down, can make it easy, but healing is really where the art of medicine lies, and healing is where the spirit and the love and the suffering and the treatments and the surgery, that's where it all comes together. How would you propose that we adopt a healing attitude? How do we bring the spirit of healing into the experience of the bedside?
I have a feeling it's going to be meditation. Because now I've heard this from some doctors to say that if you're stressed, you do weaken your immune system, you slow down your healing time because your body's stressed, you become immune compromised to a degree, you can catch a sickness easily where you'd normally be able to fight it off just because you're stressed. You become more vulnerable. The less stressed you are, and probably meditation will be able to help you heal quicker.
Please, all of you, don't be offended by what I say.
Uh-oh.
But you must look at this properly. If I don't, but if at any time, if it becomes necessary, I must go to a hospital, I just want efficient treatment. I don't want love. Because I'm not deprived like that. Now, unfortunately, we are creating a population where everywhere people are talking about love. We are deprived like this because early age deprivation of love will tell right through your life. It is very important, we need to understand that there is something more to this life than the acquired body. We have a body which we acquired, there's something more. There is a whole tradition in India, unfortunately, it's rapidly vanishing because of variety of changes that are happening in the society. Otherwise, how a mother should deal with the child till the child is 4.5 years of age. In the vernacular languages, it says that she should wrap herself around the child in every possible way, not because the food that you give the child, the milk that you give the child is not the only nourishment. The child needs to be wrapped with motherhood.
That is not just in India. That is, I have a feeling, in Western worlds, westernized worlds, something that's kind of sad in, I guess maybe modern women, kinda. Because there are people out here that don't believe in traditional roles, which the father's the provider and the mother's the caretaker of the family, not just the child, but the father or husband as well. But yeah, in Western societies, it's just there's a lot of single motherhood. There's a lot of, even in mother and father. Geez, how can I not say those words? Even a mother and father type of household, because both are working, that they throw their child up into a daycare. Well, that can be okay, they need to experience other children and other things in their life, but it becomes more along the lines of that's a normal life. You hardly ever see the mother. The mother only sees the child when they get home. They get tired to put the child to bed. When they get up, they give the child to the daycare. The child is running around in daycare, and when they get home, when the mother picks up the child, they put him to sleep because they need to do other things around the house. So there's very little interaction between the child and the mother, and the child and the father. The father needs to be there too. So it's not just an India thing, it's very much in the Western world as well, and westernized world, and who knows wherever else. And what he's talking about seems to be the traditional family, but I guess it's happening everywhere.
Then only this child will grow as a full-fledged child, otherwise it will grow as a deprived child. But modern societies, we are going to a place which is almost impossible to deliver this. It's simply not possible in the way we have structured our families, it's simply not possible to do that. So, having said that, when people come to a hospital, they should just look forward to efficient treatment. Now we're looking for love.
Well, I will say this. One doctor that I watch online, Dr. Mike, I believe his name is, I will say you don't necessarily have to look for love. You definitely want a doctor who understands you, talks to you, who understand that when you're emotional, that even if you're trying to hide it, he can kind of tell, so he can get the truth and give you efficient treatment. So basically, it's not to go to random doctors. It's best not to go to random doctors and just tell them what's ailing you, but maybe go to one doctor who knows you more than just a professional level, because you go in there, it's like, oh yeah, I'm feeling this pain on my left side, and he's treated you all his life, so he has an understanding on how you feel, and whenever maybe you're exaggerating or when you're under exaggerating, under explaining it, he can tell. It's like, oh yeah, you're just hiding that, there's something serious here. Or it's like, oh, you're over explaining it, I think it's a little bit something more simpler. So a doctor that understands you so that you can get the best treatment. Yeah.
We should have found it somewhere else. At least we should have bought a dog. If you couldn't find anybody. Dog is, if you get yourself a dog, 12 years guaranteed love affair. Guaranteed. Doesn't matter how badly behaved you are, still it's guaranteed. It'll not work with any human being. There's a whole lot of management to do with human beings. If you get a dog, however badly behaved you are a drunk, you behave badly, you beat him, do what you do, but the dog still loves you. Guaranteed love affair. So, those of you who are looking for love wherever you go, dog is a good solution. When you go to a hospital, you don't expect your doctor to love you. Just do what he has to do.
Care for you.
So that is fascinating, because I think patients come to their doctor.
This is the unfortunate reality, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
People come to a hospital and looking for love.
Oh.
Wrong place.
Not necessarily. I'm pulling something here, but people have found love in hospitals. But that's just a completely different story of what he's talking about. He's talking about more along the lines of as a way of treatment of love, not actually trying to find like your love life.
So when I was a medical student, I was the pastor of a church here in town, and I would write my sermons on hospital notepaper. This was before EMRs. So I'm writing my sermon at the nurse's station, and my attending physician came up to me and he said, "Doolittle, the physicians are the priests of today." And I said, what do you mean? That's offensive. I wasn't sure. Was he joking? Was he serious? And he was serious in the sense that people come to their doctor and they have pain. And maybe it's back pain, maybe it's pain in their heart, and I think people come to their physician and they look for absolution, acceptance, forgiveness. They look to feel well.
That's weird. That's not what a doctor's job. That's a psychiatrist's job, or actually a pastor's job, or like maybe even a guru's, well, not necessarily a guru's job, but a guru could maybe assist, again, provide you the tools to get better. Same thing with a pastor as well. You know, they don't necessarily give you an answer. They kind of, in a sense, guide you in a way. That's really weird to go for a doctor, you know, with your boyfriend or girlfriend issues, or your wife or husband issues. You got a medicine to for my wife or husband. That is weird.
Again. And perhaps the critique of modern medicine is that we are trained to give a pill. But people want more. And it's interesting that you bring this up, that in modern medicine, the expectation should be efficient care, safe care. And that's what we're trying to do too. But I do think
there is a healing.
It's a world that maybe the world is becoming more secular, and they don't know where to turn, and so people look to their healthcare provider for all of it.
I think because these people do not have anyone else to turn to, so they are lacking in their life. They don't have friends. They don't have family. It's very odd for them to go turn to their doctors for this kind of stuff when their doctors already have too much in their hands that they have to deal with. They can't be turning to their doctors for personal issues. That's what you have a friend for. That's what you have family for. That's what you have kind of coworkers for. Not really, but sometimes there are some things you can divulge to them.
What do you think?
Say, it's not about being secular or non-secular. A whole lot of human beings are feeling lonely.
Yes.
Right from their childhood, they have suffered loneliness.
The parents are
For a variety of reasons. Changes have happened in family structure, changes have happened in the social structure, the communities of the past have broken, so there is a certain loneliness where even if they go to their car mechanic, they want to be loud. You must go to your physician just the way you went to your car mechanic, somebody who knows how to fix the car. That's important. Whether he loves you or not is not your business. But when you talk about healing, there's another dimension. We're preparing people like this, I'm bringing up hundreds of people, where we have identified in the yogic culture, in the yogic science, the fundamental life energy manifests itself in 5 different ways, 5 fundamental ways. These 5, out of these 5, this is called as pranavayu, samanavayu, apana, udhana and vyana. In this, there is one dimension called samanavayu, which is very healing. So, before we introduce any kind of medical knowledge to a person, we put them on very serious inner work to generate a certain level of samanavayu, where a physician develops such a level of vitality, if he walks into the room, everything should light up. This is very important. Physicians are walking into the patient's room with a grave face.
Oh, yeah. Again, these are the 54%. They go in there, it's like, okay, what's the problem? They don't even look at the patients, they just read a chart. So you're saying you're doing this, this, this. All right, well, here's a prescription, let me sign up for you. Then it turns to the computer. All right, so I guess we'll make an appointment for next week. All right, and he just moves on, grabs the next chart for the next patient. That is true in a lot of sense, but there's also, again, I do believe Dr. Mike is doing, I think, fairly well for himself, doing appropriately, where he tries to get to know the patients, to get a better understanding, to provide a better care, not to love them, but to provide an efficient and better care, to understand why they act or why they present, and because they present this way may not be the actual problem, but it may be, he says, oh, he did this before, and something happened last time, let me try this to find out if this is in fact the cause. as opposed to what he may be saying or her saying or whatever.
Grave is one thing that you should not point at when somebody is sick. Grave is one thing that you don't show a patient. A physician should generate such a level of vitality and life and healthfulness about themselves, anything they touch will get better naturally, not because of love, not because of compassion. People, yesterday I was being interviewed by a young lady and she said, Sadhguru, we must… everything should happen out of compassion. I asked her, are you married? She said, yes, my husband is waiting in the reception. I said, suppose when you go there after this interview, you realize that your husband married you on a compassionate basis. Would you like it? She said, no. Then why do you want it for me?
Ouch! Ouch!
I don't need it too.
So, can I ask you, so for the Isha Foundation, with the thousands of full-time volunteers and the millions of part-time volunteers, why do you think they come?
They believe in something greater than themselves? Something I can think of.
Tools of transformation. The tools are subjective in nature. See, right now, we as human beings are dominating this world only because of our ability to use tools. Otherwise, a pack of dogs would take care of you. Forget about the tigers and the lions, poor tigers and poor lions who need to be saved right now. Only because of our ability to use tools, isn't it? And all the tools that we developed are… Now, as a doctor, maybe you're using a microscope. We have a microscope only because our ability to see, to enhance that we have a scope. We have a telescope only to enhance our vision in some other way. We have a telephone because we can hear. We have a microphone because we can speak. We have a bicycle because we can walk. If we were made like trees, would we have invented a bicycle? I'm asking. Every tool that we created is only to enhance the already existing faculties to a higher level, isn't it? Everything. Everything that we invented is just this, all the tools. The tools are very important. When I refer to the spiritual dimension as tools, some of our people will feel offended around me and say, Sadhguru, don't say it, it is more than our life. Don't use the word tool. Then I tell them, you come to the yoga center, 3 days I will give you plumbing job. No spanner, no winch, no nothing. You do it with your hands. You can use your teeth.
Ooh.
You will see all your 10 nails will be gone, then a few teeth will be gone after 3 days, then you come to me, I will give you a spanner. Will you worship the spanner or no? I'm asking you. Will you worship the spanner or no? It is the tools. Similarly, to turn inward, to extend dimensions which every one of you have known peace in your life at some moment. Hello? You must tell me yes or no.
Maybe.
You have known joy in your life? You have known bliss in your life? You have known ecstasy in your life? Love in your life? You are capable of all these things. Only thing is, it's not sustainable.
I don't know why there, I just all of a sudden got a little emotional, just a little bit emotional. I'm trying to hold it back. But… I don't know, I guess in my moment of time, I'm not… Again, I'm not sad or anything necessarily. There's some imperfections in my life that I can fix, but it's kind of been weighing on me a little bit, and for that moment, whenever he said that, I don't know why, I got a little bit emotional there, just a little bit, and it was a really good feeling, strangely.
One moment there, one moment here, one moment there, one moment here. This is the only problem, isn't it? Suppose I gave you a tool, subjective tool, with which you can remain blissful every moment of your life. Is it of great value to you, I'm asking? So, these millions of people, they have tasted the tools of transformation. One thing I have done to them is I have confused the hell out of them.
So what is that tool of transformation? What would you,
Inner
how would you
engineering.
describe
This
that?
is the first tool. First thing is you must get confused. Yes, because you're talking about anchoring, that's why I'm saying this. Confusion means you realize that you do not know, isn't it? I'm asking, with all this exploration of science, do we know even one single atom in its entirety?
No.
Hello? Do we? No. Then what's our problem in saying we don't know? I do not know is an immense possibility. Now you're trying to destroy I do not know with all kinds of beliefs. Why don't you say I do not know? If you truly realize I do not know, your intelligence will be in an active and super alert state every moment of your life. The moment you believe, it sleeps.
I think the video of Krishnamurti was kind of talking about this state in your sleep maybe, where you, because the disturbance is all gone, you are hyper aware in the sleep state, which is I think the video hopefully that just released before this video before this series of video. And as he was talking about bringing that awareness, but that sleep state is a state which you know nothing, because it's in a sleep state you are not aware, you're not aware of anything, or you don't know anything. There's no distraction. And I just got that connection, maybe. I'm not sure, but I'm feeling a connection there. I have to think about it deeply and I have to watch both videos again, but I think there's a connection there. God, I need to
It
stop
let
pausing
you
it.
sleep. But people are not willing to go through this. They want something. Tell them something, they want to believe and say, I'm fine, I want to sleep tonight. No, I do not know. If you see I do not know, the longing to know, the wanting to know, the seeking to know will happen to you. Everything that you do not know, you just believe because somebody said so, even if it is true. Right now I'm going to tell you what is the truth, but it's not in your experience. So what is the options that you have? You can believe me or you can disbelieve me, isn't it? If you believe me, you will not get any closer to truth. If you disbelieve me, you will not get any closer to truth. It is just that if you believe me, you will have a positive story to tell. If you disbelieve me, you will have a negative story to tell, but you will not move an inch existentially. Psychologically, it will give you comfort. So this is something you must decide. Are you looking for solace or are you looking for a solution? If you're looking for solution, then you need tools to turn inward. If you're looking for solace, believe something.
So if the first step is, I don't know,
That is some deep stuff there. Whoo, man. I wonder how many people's minds were blown there in that just 5-minute section. How many people… I'm curious about the faces that the people in the audience made. They're like, whoa.
what do you do then? What happens after that?
So this happened to me when I was just 4.5 years of age. Suddenly one day I realized I don't know a thing. I was only about 4.5 years of age. If somebody gave me a glass of water, I would just sit like this for 3-4 hours at a stretch, because I wouldn't know what is water. I'm telling you, even today you don't know what is water. It is the only substance which is in all the 3 states on the planet. 2/3 of your body is water, 2/3 of the planet is water, but you don't know what it is. We know how to use it, but we don't know what it is. Isn't it so? We know how to use this water in so many ways, but we do not know what it really is, because we do not know what really anything is for that matter. So if I found a leaf, I would simply sit like this for 6, 7 hours. If I sat up in the bed, entire night I would be staring at the darkness. My dear father, who's a physician, started thinking I need psychiatric evaluation. He started saying, this boy has lost it. He's just staring at something all the time. My problem is, I look at this and I don't know this. I'm not able to shift my attention to that. I'm just looking here still. He thought he could educate me. He tried. So there is a rule, strict rule in the house. Between 7 in the evening till 9 dinner time, you, all the children, 4 of us siblings, we have to sit and read some textbook. I open my textbook like this.
He's not reading it, he's just looking at
I
the paper.
find a little speck on the paper. I just look at the paper. This speck keeps me engaged for 2 hours. I sit like this, absolutely, total attention, without reading a word.
And his father thinks he's getting
I
somewhere.
went through school like this. I was very consistent. I always got 6 zeros in every test.
So if it's not shalom or compassion or love,
It is just life.
it's just, what would you, is
It's
that what
just
you say
life.
The meaning of the
No,
meaning,
no.
your purpose of life is life. What would you say?
The purpose of life is life itself.
Yeah.
Life itself is a large enough phenomena, it doesn't need another meaning. Only because human beings have not experienced life. They are just a bundle of thoughts, emotions, ideas, opinions, identities and prejudices. Because of this, they're looking for a meaning, because their psychological scape has overshadowed the existential life that they are.
I love the fact that Dr. Doolittle is trying to say something, but Sadhguru is interrupting him. Finish what you say, Sadhguru, ignore what Doctor is saying. He interrupts too much, and so do I.
Right now, all that they're experiencing is a minimalistic mind, not life. If you look at life, what is the nature of life? As you sit here, we are breathing, for sure. Hello? Those who are not will need medical attention. We're breathing. Breathing means, in some way, this life is in communication with the entire atmosphere. In fact, this green, Project Green Hands of planting trees, the entire movement was instigated like this by me. I took a bunch of people, about 3,000 to 4,000 people came, I said, all of you should come. They came, I arranged a meeting in a village. There was a big tree, a rain tree, 3, 4 trees were there, large trees. But I arranged the meeting around 11 o'clock in the hot sun in southern India. So I stood there and I am speaking to them. They're all sitting like this. Slowly, as the sun gets hotter, they're just wilting away, and I'm speaking and speaking something, telling them stories. And I'm watching how they're just wilting away. See, walking in the sun is one thing. If you simply sit there, it'll just burn you down. They're just thinking, what's happened to Sadhguru? He's become like this, heartless. Yes. Then, after about an hour and a half, when they're really going down, then I say, get up all of you. And then I walk them under the shade of the tree. You know what a tree is only if you sit in the sun, in hot sun, for an hour and a half too, then walk under the tree, it feels like paradise. They all, I made them sit down and said, see, what you exhale, the trees are inhaling. What the trees exhale, you are inhaling. Look at this, one part of your lung is hanging out there. And I created a process with which they could experience this. They just sat there like this with tears in their eyes. And that is it, Project Green Hands, 27 million trees they've planted. Now you can't stop them. They're planting and planting because now they see it's a part of them. Is it not true that you exist here as a part of everything else? It is just that it's a privilege. Though you are a speck in the universe, less than a speck, still we are given an intellect, we have given senses of perception, we can experience this like an individual. But in reality, if you observe yourself, you cannot exist by yourself even for a nanosecond, isn't it? The entire universe is supporting you. So the only way life can happen is an inclusive way. So yoga means just this. The word yoga means union. Union means the boundaries of what is inward and outward, you took it away. There is no such thing as you and the other. If you sit here, we can do an experiment actually. I don't know if time allows. If you sit here and suppose for one moment you experienced all these people here as a part of yourself, like you experience the 5 fingers of your hand, how is that possible? Well, what is this body today? Yesterday it was not your body, isn't it? It was food. Today it's become body. So something that is not you became you, how? Right now there is water, this is not you. If I drink it, does it become me? Definitely does. So what is it that I have done? I included it into the boundaries of my sensations. What is within my boundaries of sensation, I experience as myself. What is outside of my boundaries of sensation is not me. Now, the yogic system, we developed a way that if you keep your energies in a certain level of exuberance, now you will see your sensory body will expand. If your sensory body became as large as this hall and you experienced all these people as yourself, after that, do I have to tell you, love them, don't hate them, don't kill them, don't harm them, be compassionate? Would teachings be necessary for you? If you experience something as a part of yourself, after that, you don't need any morality.
This is what another commenter that I remember reading, and it was, I can't remember what video it was, but this is something I didn't quite understood, and it also deals with potentially the egg video as well. Whereas everyone is you. It was a very interesting video. I didn't quite understand it, but understood it. But mostly probably didn't understand it. And this is, I think this is what it's explaining here, is that your 5 senses is what keeps you as an individual, I believe, because when you consume the water, you can definitely feel it and it becomes part of you. But if you can expand on those senses to other people, then those people become, well, not necessarily part of you, but you all become one. I believe that's what it's saying here.
You don't need any ethic, you don't need any values. What is you, you will always handle it right. What is you, it is of the highest concern to you. If you experienced everyone and everything as yourself, this is what yoga means. If one is in such a state of union, then you call him a yogi. If you turn and twist your body and hang upside down, you are not a yogi, you are just doing circus. Yes, unfortunately, people think by turning and twisting they're doing yoga. No, yoga means you sat here, you experience the entire universe as yourself, not as a hallucination, but as a living experience. Not in the firmament of your mind, but existentially, you know this is you. Now, you don't need any policy, you don't need any morality, you don't need any scripture, you don't need any guidance from anywhere. You will conduct this sensibly to the best of your intelligence and capability.
And this is why I say it's a cheat, because honestly, man, that is an amazing answer. If everyone could do that, like you were saying in that one video, there's no left or right. It'd be irrelevant. It doesn't matter, because inner peace would make everyone peaceful. But also, if you see yourself as everyone, you obviously, like again he said, you treat yourself. Obviously, you want to take care of yourself, and then if you see as everyone else as yourself, then you take care of them too. There's no reason for anything. That's an amazing answer. A difficult one for people to accept, though, I'm sure. But, again, an amazing answer.
And that's all a human being can do.
Sadhguru. So, we have a few minutes for questions. Does anybody have? Go ahead.
My question is touching back to the point which you brought up about the belief. Can you tell a little bit more about what's the difference between belief and faith?
The difference between belief and faith. Belief can have potentially some truth or some experience in it, whether it be by someone else, but an experience, let's say maybe an experience that you personally experienced yourself, to have some belief in it. I saw this happen, therefore I believe it. Faith deals more along the lines of maybe having no experience in it, no experience whatsoever. I know God exists. I have to have faith in God, or like something needs to happen, but you have no proof behind it, not even an experience, maybe.
You're trying to gather more information.
As much as I can in 1 hour.
That is the biggest problem. You can gather as much as you want. If you gather a lot, you'll become fat. But you will not feel enhanced. The only thing that every life is seeking is to enhance itself to its fullest possible level. Whether you take a worm or an insect or a bird or a tree, all of them want to become full-fledged life. Only problem is, we know what is a full-fledged worm, we know what is a full-fledged insect, we know what is a full-fledged tree, but we don't know what is a full-fledged human being. Now you think by acquiring more and more, I don't know what information you gathered, but by acquiring more and more, you will not become more. It has not happened, isn't it?
I think here, from my understanding, is the fact that you can obtain all the knowledge in the world, but that will not provide you, that will not give you a fulfilling life. You will not experience life unless you personally lived it or experienced it. Experience true life as opposed to just gathering information. You could sit there in the library reading all the books all day long until you die, but you obtain a lot of knowledge, but you've not experienced life.
People thought by acquiring money, by acquiring wealth, by acquiring knowledge, they will become more. They have not become more. They're still hankering for the same things. So, by acquiring more information, you will not become enhanced. It is just that if you approach information sensibly, you will become more hungry. If you approach information as a way of projecting yourself as better than somebody else, then you will think you have attained to something. This is what happens by acquiring information. Only in comparison it's valuable. If you have certain level of information, you need somebody around you who doesn't know it for you to be looking smart.
Wow, that's actually a really good one.
Today it's become a fashion. Before they go to a dinner party, they will Google out that galaxy Z67, how many million light years is it? So when you go to a dinner party, just like that casually you throw around, you know the galaxy Z67, it is you know how many light years, this many light years. Who the hell cares? Because we don't even know in our experience what is a light year. It is only a mathematical calculation. It is not really anybody's experience. There is no human being on this planet, past or present, who's ever experienced a light year. There's no such thing. It is only a mathematical calculation to somehow come to terms with the immeasurable dimensions of the existence. We're trying to somehow quantify it so that it comes into our understanding, but nothing comes into our understanding. As science explores more and more, it is only getting more confounded. The only reason why science is surviving is because it's throwing out useful technologies on the side. If that was not there, science is far more confused in 100 years of exploration than it ever was before. But that's a good sign. If they had made stupid conclusions, there would be one more religion. Science is confounded today. The top physicists in the world are saying, we not only do not know, we know we will never know. This is a good sign, because this means your intelligence will remain on an explorative mode all the time, on an active mode, not in a sleep mode. So when the top scientists declare we will not know, it is not a hopeless situation, it is a great situation that people have come to this, that they understand if you go through physical means, it doesn't matter how much you explore, it'll go on endlessly. How much information you have, you will not get any better, you will get only more burdened by this. Things will happen on the side, technologies will come, iPhone will become 7, 8, 12, all right?
Already there.
But still, the way you talk to people is not going to change. What you say will not change. Your relationships will not change. Technology can go through the ceiling, but nothing of you will be enhanced. So, more information is not going to help. All I want you to take, the takeaway for you, because you want to take away something. The takeaway for you is, if you truly, genuinely, it's not simply a thought, allow this to sink into you in the next few days, that if you pay attention to anything, a leaf, a flower, water, people, dog, animals, anything, if you pay enough attention to anything around you, even the closest people around you, if you pay enough attention to them, you will see you don't know a damn thing about anything. On the surface, you seem to know everything, but if you pay sufficient attention, you don't know a thing about anything. Knowledge is a very limited sphere of life. Ignorance is boundless. Enjoy that.
So, in the spirit of boundless ignorance, does anyone else have any questions? Let's see, there's a lot. Maybe someone…
She
hey,
has
there
the
you go.
microphone,
Hey,
yeah.
You got the mic, go ahead.
Hello. Thank you very much for a wonderful lecture, and you definitely very smart man. My question is…
That's the worst insult anybody has thrown at me.
He started by saying he doesn't know anything. That was his whole…
Say a wise man,
this
that's
is
smart.
the main sign of a smart person. So my question is that you mentioned before that just a belief without clarity is not a good thing. And I am absolutely impressed by amount of volunteers, like millions of the volunteers. I cannot even imagine how many people come for learning and not volunteering, so it's a lot. Do you think they are all driven by clarity and search for clarity? Or they believe that once they will do in the engineering, they will work on the process of gaining joy, and eventually they will have a positive story with you, or the positive story as you mentioned before. Thank you.
See, if for any human being to do something, either it should have worked for them, or it should have worked for somebody around them. If you want to buy a car, either you will test drive it and see whether it works for you, or you'll ask the opinion of your friend who is driving that particular car, is this being good for you, yes or no? So I must tell you, as a rule, for the first 21 years of my existence as a teacher, as a rule, I never appeared in the media, never once. To a point where media started writing about me, he's running some kind of a secret school. Because I refused to meet the media, no advertisement, no any kind of posters, not even a brochure, only by word of mouth, millions of people came. Because once it works for somebody, they wanted to work for their family, their friends and things, that's how it happened. In the last 15 years or 16 years now, 15 actually, from 2001 is when you have heard about me all over because we're making a lot of noise in the last 15 years. Because these projects which we started as small endeavors in the local area caught on so well and they became such major projects of planting trees, education, health. We are active in 53,000 villages. So it needs enormous support, otherwise this can't be done. For a non-religious movement which doesn't offer any miracles like this, never before, as I know in the last 200, 300 years, never before a spiritual movement has caught on this kind of following, where no ticket to heaven, no miracles, no any kind of stuff, only thing I'm telling them is badgering them that you are the source of all your troubles. Nobody else but you. But millions are gathering, which is very fantastic, because I must tell you this. About 30 years ago, when I conducted programs, over 85% of the people came because of health reasons, physical, mental ailments. Today, on an average, only about 12% of the people are coming for health reasons. The rest are coming because they're seeking. They want to know, they want to experience, they want their lives to be touched in a deeper way than the way it is touched right now. This is a phenomenal change that you're seeing in the world. It's never before, I think. Only 12% are coming for health reasons, but at one time over 80% were coming for health reasons, which is a big shift.
Any other question? Maybe someone from up above there. You right there in the front, can you shout your
I'm trying not
question
to
out?
pause too much because it's getting into that 1 hour marker.
Physical ailments are, have you witnessed physical ailments be cured by, or at least helped by yoga?
Did anyone hear the question? Are physical ailments, have you experienced physical ailments being helped by yoga?
I'm sure it does help. I'm absolutely sure on that. From my personal experience, I can try to focus on, like when I get a headache, I can kind of focus to remove the headache temporarily for an extremely short amount of time. But it doesn't last very long. I'm not very good at it. But it's just a sure fact that if you can de-stress your body, calm your body, yeah, you know, all the medicines are just there to aid your body in healing itself. That's most of what the medicines can do. Now there are some surgical things that there is sometimes a substance that needs to be surgically removed that your body can't necessarily remove. And as a matter of fact, I watch Monsters Inside Me. There are some diseases that your body, or disease or virus that your body cannot quite kill, and we can aid the body with certain kinds of antiviral or antifungal medicines. But generally speaking, your body can heal itself, and by doing, you can maybe take medication to help, but I generally don't like to, because you develop an immunity to it. But if you can just aid your body by not stressing out, and yoga is definitely going to be a way of just calming your body, yeah, you can help yourself heal quicker.
We must understand, there are two kinds of ailments. In the yogic system, we look at health issues as two ways. One is caused by external organisms, which I think modern medicine has handled in a phenomenal way. In fact, the birth of modern medicine happened mainly because of the epidemics and pandemics which were happening at the time, where it would wipe out populations. It is that which inspired people to experiment and do the things that they did. And when they found solutions, that is when suddenly the the trust of the population shifted from one to another simply because they could eliminate epidemics, and these were caused by external organisms. But 70% of human ailments are on self-help. That is, they cause it to themselves in so many ways. For whatever reasons, knowingly, unknowingly, they do it to themselves. This 70% of ailments that people cause to themselves can be undone from within. But if you have an infection, you must go to the doctor. If you have pneumonia, you must immediately go to the doctor. Don't try to do yoga. Now, are there instances? We have thousands and thousands of people, I would say hundreds and thousands of people, who walked out of their ailments without ever being treated for them. We don't treat people for yoga. I must tell you this because we're in a medical institution. A bunch of doctors from United States came to our yoga center. We have a yogic hospital. So about 12 of them, largely from this Michigan area, and they came and stayed for 3 days, and on the 4th day, they were very upset and they wanted to leave. I was very busy, I couldn't meet them, and somebody came and told me, Sadhguru, all these doctors are very upset, they want to go. I said, what happened? They're just very upset that there is no yogic hospital here. You told them there is yogic hospital, they think there is no yogic hospital. Then I said, okay, let me see them. Then I saw them. They were really upset, they were angry, they felt cheated that there is no yogic hospital here. Where are the patients? Where are the uniformed nurses and doctors walking up and down? I said, see…
I have a feeling he's gonna do something to calm them down, and there goes the yogic hospital, calming down of their anger.
At that time, on that day, maybe there were over 70 patients. But I thought, I'll put them to good use, and I was making them work in the gardens. Nobody should ever understand sickness is a reward. They must want to get out of it as quickly as possible. Right now, we're treating patients in such a way, people would want to be sick whenever they want attention. Not just that, one important part of the yogic treatment is what is called as bhuta shuddhi. This means sinking and purifying the elements within you. Water, earth, water, air, fire and space. These 5 dimensions you can work on. This is the fundamentals of yoga. So one of the most important thing is, I want them barefoot, with open hands, to work in the garden, to just get in touch with the earth, be outside, get in touch with the air, water, earth. Half the ailments are gone. Treatment is there a little bit. Rest is all just connection with the world around, because this is a composite of all these things. You remove yourself and keep yourself in a completely alien atmosphere where you're not in touch. You're 4 inches above the ground all the time. You will lose contact with what makes your life. It's the very soil which you're carrying as your body. Is it not important that it needs to be touched with its origins? No, you're looking up. No, your life happens from this planet. There are other dimensions to it, of course, but physical health and the physical nature around you are very closely related. If you don't connect them, health is an accident for most people. Today I see America probably has the highest incidence of allergies. Is that so? Am I right? Very high. This is mainly because they're removed from everything that's natural. They're not in touch with anything that is natural, everything is tampered with. Those who are living in the open, even in America, I'm sure they have no allergy, they have no issue of any kind, they're doing fine. I think the homeless people are the most healthy people in the end. They're enduring all kinds of, variations in weather and still managing pretty well without healthcare.
We probably have time for one more question. In the back, right there. Shout it out.
How to seek for internal peace?
How to?
How to look for internal peace?
Whoa, whoa, you just came in?
I'm sorry, was that internal peace or eternal peace?
Internal.
Internal peace.
Okay.
Ooh, he didn't like the
Now,
word peace from earlier. Peace.
we've gone through this anyway. Whether it's peace or happiness or joy or love or whatever, it can only be internal. It can't be external. Now, there are many ways to address this, but one simple way is just this. You just have to learn where the keyboard is for this big computer of your mind. Right now, you don't know where the keyboard is, you're punching it somehow, something works. No, if you know where the keyboard is, you would type out the right things, isn't it? Fundamentally, it's just that your mind is not taking instructions from you. Don't ask for peace.
Tell it peace.
Don't ask for joy. Don't ask for love. Just you have to understand the mechanics of how this body and this mind works. And then you cause whatever you want. If you like turmoil, cause it. If you want love, cause it. If you want hate, cause it, that's up to you. But I trust you that if you are capable of causing pleasantness or unpleasantness within you, you will choose the highest form of pleasantness for yourself. I trust you on that one. Now, that it started with this 54% of doctors suffering, which is unfortunate. Doctors, all said and done, are rendering a very key aspect of service to any given society. It's very important that they are well. I would like to make this offering that the doctors who are interested in this, we would like to offer them the tools of inner engineering so that they go out as truly healthy, joyful, life which is full of vitality, that their very presence is an inspiration for health for everybody who comes in touch with them. This must happen. Otherwise, what are we talking about health? We're talking medicine. Medicine is a business. Health is an aspiration for every human being. If this fundamental aspiration is not fulfilled, you cannot lead a human being to any other aspiration. Right now there is some trouble in your body, I will talk about enlightenment. Are you interested, I'm asking? No. Your back is aching, I will talk enlightenment, you're not interested. Will my backache go? That's the only question, isn't it? Because body has this power. Unless you keep your body in such a way that you don't know whether it is here or not. This is what yoga means, that your body becomes like breeze. If you sit here, you don't know whether your body is here or not. Otherwise, if you sit here for 1.5 hours, your body says, I must go to the bathroom, your body says, I must drink, your body says, I must do something, because it is in a state of compulsive needs. If you bring it to ease on all levels, you will not know whether body is here or not. If you are in such a state, you are not even conscious whether it's here or not. You have no gender issues, you don't care whether you're a man or a woman right now. Yes? It should not matter, I'm saying. There are only two places where your gender should matter, bathrooms and bedrooms. Nowhere else.
And some people even debate that, right? Which you go to which bathroom, it doesn't matter which bathroom, so just the bedroom.
Everything is under debate.
That's true.
But I'm saying, to move the body from compulsive needs to a place where it is like a stepping stone, not an impediment for your life. Right now, the compulsiveness of the body is making people do all kinds of things in the world. People are not able to raise to a place where they can do something other than the compulsive things that every other creature does. simply because they have not kept their body as it should be kept. This body can be upgraded to a place where it will function like an antenna which will download the cosmos. Even if that doesn't happen to you right now, the physicians of the world, at least they must become an embodiment of health and vitality. This must happen. Whatever is needed from our end, we're willing to do for Ale and you, sir, Doolittle.
Thank you so much.
And I am Dr. Do Nothing.
So thank everybody, let's thank Sadhguru for his visit with us. Thank you so much. What a great joy. Wonderful to have you.
I wonder how many people got their mind blown in that one. I mean, luckily enough, I've heard a lot of this stuff before, and he reiterated a lot of the things and clarified some of the things too, and make me realize some of the things as well. So yeah, I still am looking forward to getting the inner engineering book. I think I got another book, like was it Amazon, if I sign up for their audiobook, which I'm glad. He's gonna have Sadhguru talking. I can't wait to hear him talk. And I'm gonna pick up inner engineering, and I think one other book, which I think I already have it on my wish list. Can't wait to get started on that. I'm gonna get it pretty soon because I think the offer is going to end pretty soon. Holy crap, that started July 26th. Okay, anyways, yeah, can't wait to get started in inner engineering. A little jealous that they got it for free, but I'll get it for free too, because I'll sign up for the free subscription and then cancel. That's crummy of me, but hey, look, they offered it up. So anyways, that's my final reaction to Dr. Ben Doolittle in conversation with Sadhguru at Yale School of Medicine. Hopefully this will get uploaded and play no problem, otherwise that might be a problem. Anyway, if you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.